Very aerodynamic. Once you get your test drive or you drive it yourself, you're going to be blown away because it's insane. You'll notice here has the blind spot monitor. Again, the beautiful lines on the roof and the side. Even here, you'll see that Y shape. It's very cool. I love that they took the time for that attention to detail. The windows, beautiful, nice and thick, dark for privacy. And these tires and wheels, oh my God, they're huge. And if you notice, the brakes and the rotors are the largest in the world at 17.3 inches for the rotors alone. I mean, this is crazy. You may or may not be a car person, but this caught my attention for sure. And beautiful rims. You have a lot of selection of rims. If you go to Lamborghini.com and you visit the configurator, you can see all the selection for the 21, 22, and 23-inch rims. And as I was talking about the tire earlier, you'll see this little insignia here of the L for this P0 tire that was specially designed for the Urus by Pirelli. So let's walk to the back now. In the back, I'll get into it more later. We're going to show you all the trunk capacity and luggage space that you have. But again, you'll see the Lamborghini DNA all throughout it. This nice large Lamborghini badge here, which is beautiful. And if you get the rear trunk opener, you can open it with your foot. So if you've got your hands loaded with things from Costco, which I know I do quite often, you can get in and out fairly easy without having your hands free. So we'll get into that more later, but I just wanted to walk you through the exterior quickly because it truly is stunning and beautiful. Now in this Grigio Lynx color, the dark gray, you're going to fly a little bit more under the radar. A lot of my clients that do construction and they go on job sites, they like that. They like ordering the car in gray or black so they don't draw too much attention to it. Personally, I would love a loud color like a red. I've even seen a white one with orange interior and orange calipers. That was beautiful. Really, you can't go wrong either way. The cool thing is you can just customize it to your liking. So quickly, just take a look at these exhaust pipes. I mean, the cool thing is you can do chrome, you can do satin, which is your standard, or you can do a matte black. So depending on your personal taste and what you do with your exterior color, you can customize that as well. So I talked a little bit about how we went from naturally aspirated to a turbo, but the more I drive this, I'm loving the sound of it. It's got this like really deep rumble and growl to it. It's definitely substantial. It sounds so good. It's different than the cars, but I really love it. And upon starting it, wow, it definitely lets you know it's there. I'm in sport. Sorry, I'm used to the modes being here, but they're here actually in the Urus. So I'm in sport. Most of you know that you can drive in Strada if you'd like it quiet and more compliant, but I love sport and Corsa. I tend to live in those modes and I love hearing the sound of the exhaust. So if you like that, like me, then you definitely want to bump it down to sport or Corsa so you can enjoy the nice sound that it's giving you. So I'm going to actually drop it down into Corsa. And you hear the exhaust note get a little louder, it's more aggressive. I love it. And an interesting point when you do drop it into Corsa, it drops the ride height by 15 millimeters. So it gives you that more aerodynamic benefit if you want to do a little bit more aggressive driving. You know, I love that the ride firms up. I'm used to that. It depends what you'd like, but if you were going to take the Urus on the track, I would highly recommend it. Something I noticed when you're changing modes, if you go down to Corsa, to get back to sport or Strada, you have to keep going down through all the modes. You can't bump up. So just make a note of that because it does take a little longer to get back to sport or Strada while you're driving. If you have the off-road modes, you have 6 modes to get through. So it's just something to note. Might be nice if you could just bump it up, but again, I'm being so nitpicky. This is an incredible car. Like, what's not to love? I love the heads-up display in Corsa. It's really cool. You don't have to look down at all. It's all right there. So that's something new that would be nice in the cars. I mean, but this car, you know, it's going to be used for so many practical things. It's just got all the tech, all the bonuses. I'm loving it. So something to note about this Urus is that it's all-wheel drive, just like its brothers. And an interesting point is it can send 87% of the power to the rear wheels if needed, and 70% to the front. So depending on what mode you're in and what sort of dynamic driving you're doing, it's going to take care of business, which is cool. So something to consider when you're ordering your Urus, I know here in Canada, we love having winter tire and rim package. Nobody wants to re and re. It's a pain in the butt. You've got to pay labor. You know, so if you have an actual package with rims and tires, it's much better. They can just do an easy switch at service. Now, one thing I did realize that if you order the winter tires or the winter rim and tire package when you're ordering the car, it's significantly cheaper by a lot. Even the expensive rim and tire package is $16K, but if you wait and order it after the vehicle, you're looking at around $25K. So I would suggest if you need winter tires or the rim and tire package, be sure you order that with your sales rep when you're ordering your car, because you're going to save a significant amount of money. Another thing to consider, if you don't get the roof rails, you're not going to be able to order a lot of the accessories that are available later on. They're going to have, like, you know, boxes and ski boxes. They're going to have a lot of accessories, you know, whether you surf or ski or you go up to the mountains or whatever you want to do. There's going to be a lot of accessories coming available in the future. So if you're that kind of person and you like to do outdoorsy stuff, you might look into getting those roof rails, because that's not something you can add later. You can't retrofit it. It's also something to consider for resale. I'm sure people will be hanging onto their Urus a lot longer than they typically hang onto their cars, but if you're the kind of person that likes to roll every year or two into a new one, then definitely look into getting those roof rails when you place your order. So last night, my man drove this vehicle briefly. I wanted to let him experience it and just get a reaction of someone who doesn't drive the cars on a regular basis. And he's funny, he is not an SUV guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him at all. He's not really on the channel much, but he's 26, he's young, he's hip, and he doesn't drive SUVs. But when he got behind the wheel, he was like, oh my God, this is insane. He said, this is all you need. Like, you don't even need the cars if you have this, which I found very interesting to see his reaction and get that perspective. Because he's not an SUV person. I mean, we have a baby now, but like I said, he's a young, hip guy that, you know, he didn't have the dogs until he met me. He didn't have a baby, obviously, till he met me. So his life has changed pretty rapidly, but he loved the Urus. And that was an interesting thing to note, is that if you're kind of toying between one or the other, and you don't have the income where you can have both the Urus and the Huracan or Aventador, this is a vehicle that can do it all. You can do all your practical stuff. You can run the family, you can run the dogs, you could even use it for real estate, with business. I mean, whatever you need to use it for. But then you can still put it in Corsa and take it on the track. So with all of that in mind, it really is a lot of bang for your buck. And people who thought they would never drive an SUV are soon going to be buying Lamborghini Urus, because this is one that does it all. All right, guys, so I want to talk to you a little bit about the trunk. There's a couple of dividers I want to show you. And also I want to show you the incredible capacity for luggage that this thing has. I'm going to pop the trunk. I have the key. You can also use this button here, or if you have the hands-free tailgate opener, you can use your foot. Regardless, once you get it open, there's a few things here I want to go through. This is very similar to the Bentayga, if you're familiar. This divider, you could have it here or more forward. The cool thing is there's little clips here, and you can just slide it however you want. Also, if you press these buttons, this lifts out. So you could bring it here, You could bring it straight across. Honestly, like whatever you prefer. Right now I'm just going to take it straight because I've got some stuff that I want to load into the trunk. Now these, also there's some little buttons here. You can press or release. And again, if you don't want this firm one, you can use the ribbon to divide things and organize. So it's nice to have that ability. Another thing that's cool back here, you'll see the privacy shelf if you want that, or you can lift it out if you have some taller stuff that you need to put back here. And these buttons right here will adjust your ride height. So pretty soon I'm taking my baby and my Shiba Inus for a drive, and the Shibas will appreciate lowering this because they're short and they don't have to jump as high to get into the car. Okay, so you'll see it's lowering right now. You can also lift it. Even if you have elderly parents or whatever, it's just nice to have that ability to change the ride height. And for all you hockey moms, you guys noticed I mentioned the pass-through. Well, you can certainly utilize that space if you go for the 4-seat configuration. Obviously, if you have the 5, you can just fold the whole thing down, which increases your capacity immensely. So either way, you can fit your hockey stick. All right, so I want to see how practical this vehicle really is. I've got my baby stroller and I've got his and her golf bags full, even with the drivers. Let's see if we can make it work. So first thing I'm going to do is slide out this divider here so I have more capacity and space. And then I'm going to start with the stroller. I'm going to put the flat side down and scoot it as far up as possible. Now I'm thinking I can put one golf bag here. You'll see there's a little pocket here, so hopefully with the driver I can fit it there. See how it goes. Obviously I need to put that in first. Yep, and then fit her in, so that's working. And I'm going to try the second golf bag here, put the driver in this little pocket, see if I can make that work. It's heavy. My boyfriend has a lot of balls in his bag. All right. Yep. So let's see if I can get it to close. Looks like I still have space, which is awesome. Wow, success. And you guys saw there was even space to spare. So don't worry whether you're a hockey mom or you're a golfer or whatever the case may be. I think you're pretty well set with the Lamborghini Urus capacity. Okay guys, so I've got the family loaded up for a drive. The baby, the fur babies, we're all in. And I hope you enjoyed my review of the Lamborghini Urus. As always, if you'd like to know more about the Lamborghini brand or you'd like to test drive or order an Urus, be sure to make an appointment with me at Lamborghini Uptown Toronto in Vaughan. Geisha, sit. Stay there. Nope, 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 stay there. You're not the pilot, you're the co-pilot. When are you going to learn that? You don't get to drive the Lamborghini, you get to ride. Good girl. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that like button. I'll be releasing new videos every week and I can't wait to have you along for the journey.